There we go. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope that your weekend was a really, really good one, or at the very least, a little better than mine. And I hope your Monday is starting off really well. I know it's only 2 p.m. It might be in the middle of some of your guys' work days, but whoever does join us, definitely happy to have you here. I believe Michaela will be joining me here in a little bit. I'm hoping she does. Her husband, my brother-in-law, Brady, he's taking some time off, so they're just hanging out together. So probably be doing the majority of the reading for today until she joins in, which is hopefully sooner than later. I really hope you guys' Monday is off to a good start. I hope that got some good things ahead for the week. The weather here in Vegas has been a little bit crazy. I think like 2 days ago we said our stream, it was super windy on stream. It's still kind of windy, but this is the time of year where it's either hot as balls or like windy. And we're getting into the super, like, the sun will kill you heat real soon. So, all right, enough rambling. Without further ado, let's get into reading Parasite. I think what we're going to do on Mondays is read Parasite by Arthur Conan Doyle. And then Wednesdays, I'm not sure if we're going to do Cloudbuster 9 or some other book. Probably some other book. Maybe for surprise streams, I'll read Cloudbuster 9 unless it's something that people want to keep hearing. And then Fridays, I think we're just going to do assorted poetry, different readings. Even, I don't know what all we're going to do. Yep. Ooh, okay. You want to join?
Yeah, what are you reading?
We were gonna read Parasite.
Okay, what are you talking about?
I was just saying hello and that I hoped everybody's week was going well.
Oh.
That's all. Talking that like the wasting time about the weather.
Of course.
It's what I do in the clubs. How I get the ladies. Talk about the weather. Here.
I am. Well, I mean, do you mind if I change my clothes first?
Nope, you gotta wear what you're wearing.
I mean, I will if you want me to, for really, but...
This is a book club, dude. It's gotta be... We're just chilling. I can be on camera, unless you want to be. I mean, if you want to go change, it's fine. I'm just messing with you.
Okay, I was like, I don't know if I want my friends to see me in this state.
Hey, if they don't... What is that one quote? If you don't accept me for...
At my worst.
At my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Yes, exactly. You don't deserve me at my best.
Alright. Okay.
There, you want me to, like, just also really mess up my hair? We can just make this a... Let's make this a real... A real, shit show, as they say. Here.
Okay, let me just try to... I don't know what I'm gonna...
You look great. I don't know what you're talking about. You look good back there. Yeah, see? Look at that. Game winner.
My turtleneck?
That's a game winner right there. You want to move, you can move Teddy over.
No, that's all good.
Well, you don't, do you want to wear the headset or you just want me to read?
I'll wear the headset.
I hope it, I think it makes it that far. Okay.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Hey, there she be.
Alright, so let me just...
So, just so you know, fam.
Yeah, what's up?
Made a little thing for today's stream. I made this. Thank you. Yeah. Shout out Chat GPT. Not for the typing part, but for the Soon. There we go.
Very nice.
Thank you. Enunciation.
Alright, I'm pulling up Parasite on my phone.
Cool. I got to the part that we were at, or that we ended at, where he was about to open the letter. Where he was like, "Oh, 10 o'clock.
Oh, yes.
Oh yes,
That's right.
that's right. I should open this parchment on the hour of 10."
Indeed, and we will see what the hypnotist has to say.
Yeah. Which is page end of the end of page 24.
Thank you. I was just scrolling without.
There we go.
Alright.
If you want, I did refill those.
Thank you. I have an energy drink back here for now.
Okay.
It's a Monday.
That's what I was saying. I hope everybody's Monday is off to a good start. Really appreciate you joining us if it is in the middle of your workday. Or if it's not your workday, like, I hope it's a good one. Thank you for joining us anyway. Whatever type of day you're having. All right. So, let's get into.
Um, I say go for it, bro. That's the wildest part to me is like she's not gonna remember that she said this at all. Exactly. Oh. Dupe. Yeah, I was like it's a D word. All right, let me just send this link to literally anybody, everybody I know and love, even though this is what I'm wearing. You know. Yeah. All right. That's what I'm saying. She was like not very considerate of his feelings at all. Yeah, but I mean, I guess like the severity of it really made an impression on him. So I don't know. It's yeah. I don't think you can. Yeah, like maybe he read. No, because I don't think she would do that for any amount of money. I don't think she could have been convinced to do that to him. Of her own, like consciously. She would have been real. Yeah, yeah, there you go. I was like, what word can I use here? Yep. What happened to your voice? Right. Vocal cords. Interesting way. Yeah, yeah. She. Dang, he was like instantly forgiving. He was just that happy it was not real.
Yeah, he still doesn't even know if it isn't real, you know?
Yeah,
It may
well,
have
yeah.
been, as she said, a little difficult to devise a test which would satisfy me. And she had done that. There could be no question at all upon the point. For me, hypnotic suggestion was finally established, and it took its place from now onwards as one of the facts of life that Agatha, who of all women of my acquaintance has the best balance of mind, had been reduced to a condition of automatism appeared to be certain.
Dang, that easily convinced. Well, I mean, I would be too after an event like that, yeah.
Well, again, we still don't know if she hasn't come back,
It's
or
true.
why he's so convinced when she hasn't come back.
His fiance?
Yeah,
Oh, well, then you're in for a treat, because he's definitely about to go visit her.
a person at a distance had worked her as an engineer on the shore might guide a Brennan torpedo. A second soul had slipped in, as it were, had pushed her own aside, and had seized her nervous mechanism, saying, I will work this for half an hour. And Agatha must have been unconscious as she came and as she returned. Could she make her way in safety through the streets in such a state?
That kind of is concerning.
I put on my hat and hurried round to see if all was well with her. Yes, she was at home. I was shown into the drawing room and found her sitting with a book upon her lap. You are an early visitor, Austin, she said, smiling. And you have been even earlier, I answered. She looked puzzled. What do you mean? She said. You have not been out today? No, certainly not. Agatha, said I seriously, would you mind telling me exactly what you have done this morning? She laughed at my earnestness. You've got on your professional look, Austin. You see what comes of being engaged to a man of science. However, I will tell you, though I can't imagine what you want to know for. I got up at 8. I breakfasted at half past. I came into this room at 10 minutes past 9 and began to read the Memoir de Madame de Remusat. In a few minutes I did the French lady the bad compliment of dropping to sleep over her pages, and I did you, sir, the very flattering one of dreaming by you.
Hmm.
Only a few minutes since I woke up.
Interesting that she, like, retained a subconscious memory of it, that she believes it was a dream, you know?
And found yourself where you had been before? Why, where else should I find myself? Would you mind telling me, Agatha, what it was that you dreamed about me? It really is not mere curiosity on my part. I merely had a vague impression that you came into it. I cannot recall anything else.
Very concerning.
If you have not been out today, Agatha, how is it that your shoes are dusty? Pains looking into my face. Really, Austin, I do not know what is the matter with me this morning. One would almost think that you doubted my word. If my boots are dusty, it must be, of course, that I have put on a pair which the maid had not cleaned.
Yeah, it would make me sad. Be like, why don't you believe me? Like, why are you trying to call me a liar right now? You know, she has no idea. Like, genuinely no idea. I also like how he described that hypnosis is basically like somebody pushing their soul into another person's body for a moment and having that soul be set aside. It's an interesting way to think about hypnosis, and he will expand on that as we go later on. But I hadn't considered it like that before reading this book.
Hmm.
You know, it's interesting.
I think you should do the reading too.
But why?
You have a lot more to say about it than I do.
Oh, you don't like being interrupted?
And no, it's okay. I just think you should do the reading. This is your book.
I'm sorry. No, I'm enjoying hearing your voice.
It's
And
okay.
we're almost to like the next chapter anyway, so you might as well keep going.
Okay. It was perfectly evident that she knew nothing whatever about the matter, and I reflected that after all, perhaps it was better that I should not enlighten her. It might frighten her. It could serve no good purpose that I could see. I said no more about it, therefore, and left shortly afterwards to give my lecture. But I am immensely impressed. My horizon of scientific possibilities had suddenly been enormously extended. I no longer wonder at Wilson's
Ooh, this dude is gonna get into some hypnotherapy. Well, I don't know if he'll. Well, I do know he will be a test subject himself. Um, if it's possible. And what will she make him do?
Hmm.
Do you think?
What do I think she will make him do?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, since you've never read this before, what would you predict that she would have him do?
I think she's gonna have him in a golden man thong do the chicken dance in the middle of the town square on 11:55.
Yeah.
Not a minute sooner, not a minute later. Golden thong town square chicken dance.
Because unfortunately, this guy at this moment is so excited about
Mm-hmm.
the possibility that this exists
Right.
that he's not considering at all
Like
that he's about to just completely give up control of his body to another person he doesn't know. The only thing we know about her is that she is cruel enough
to do something like
after
do something
like that.
terrible, right? Yeah.
So
You will present yourself as an option at the local brothel.
exactly.
Yeah, like
Golden thong is
in a golden thong, as if you were the prize of the day.
yeah, and this dude obviously really cares about his reputation, right?
Big time.
So,
Yeah, as a man of 34.
yeah,
Mm.
it's dangerous.
Mm.
Dangerous business he's about to dive into here.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and he, I mean, but at least he mentions that it's like, this seems like she was completely taken over.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows. Well, I guess he doesn't know.
Right.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Do you want to read or you want me?
I gotcha. I'll read this one. I think it might be a short one. I can't remember. There is a short chapter in here somewhere, but okay. March 26th. Wilson was, as I had anticipated, very exultant over my conversion, and Miss Penalosa was also demurely pleased at the result of her experiment. Strange what a silent, colorless creature she is, save only when she exercises her power. Even talking about it gives her color and life. She seems to take a singular interest in me. I cannot help observing how her eyes follow me about the room. We had the most interesting conversation about her own powers. It is just as well to put her views on record, though they cannot, of course, claim any scientific weight. He's like, I might as well, you know, write down what she has to say about it, even though it's meaningless. But here we go. Like, so pretentious. You are on the very fringe of the subject, said she, when I had expressed wonder at the remarkable instance of suggestion which she had shown me. I had no direct influence upon Miss Marden when she came round to you. I was not even thinking of her this morning. What I did was set her mind, as I might set the alarum of a clock, so that at the hour named it would go off of its own accord. If 6 months instead of 12 hours had been suggested, it would have been the same. That would be crazy. You could do something 6 months ahead. And if the suggestion had been to assassinate me, she would most inevitably have done so. But this is a terrible power, I cried. Okay, so now he knows. Like, she can just straight up make people murder each other, so. Right? Like, this, I don't know what's worse. For this guy, I would assume the dupe. The duping, but, personally, I would say murder, but. Dupers. Dupies. Yeah. It is, as you say, a terrible power, she answered gravely. And the more you know of it, the more terrible it will it seem to you. May I ask, said I, what you meant when you said that this matter of suggestion is only at the fringe of it? What what do you consider the essential? Excuse me. I'd rather not tell you. I was surprised at the decision of her answer. You understand, said I, that it is not out of curiosity I ask, but in the hope that I may find some scientific explanation for the facts with which you furnish me. Frankly, Professor Gilroy, said she, I am not at all interested in science, nor do I care whether it can or cannot classify these powers. But I was hoping. Ah, that is quite another thing. If you make it a personal matter, said she, with the pleasantness of smiles, I shall be only too happy to tell you anything you wish to know. Let me see. What was it you asked me? Oh, about the further powers. Yes. Professor Wilson won't believe in them, but they are quite true all the same. For example, it is possible for an operator to gain complete command over his subject, presuming that the latter is a good one. Without any previous suggestion, he may make him do whatever he likes. Without the subject's knowledge, sorry. That depends. If the force was strongly exerted, he would know no more about it than Miss Martin did when she came around and frightened you so. Or if the influence were less powerful, he might be conscious of what he was doing, but be quite unable to prevent himself from doing it. Would he have lost his own willpower then? It would be overridden by another stronger one. Have you ever exercised this power yourself? Several times. Is your own will so strong, then? Well, it does not entirely depend upon that. Many have strong wills which are not detachable from themselves. Not everyone can hypnotize everyone. The thing is to have the gift of projecting it into another person and superseding their own. I find that the power varies with my own strength and health. So that's interesting. If she has a cold or something, she might not be able to hypnotize as well. What do you mean?
The movie Inception. Like she's saying that she's putting herself into
Ah,
another person and superseding their own thoughts with her own will. Inception.
this is true. What did they call it? They had like a word for them, like they were the creators, the commanders, the like something, the engineers, the architects.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
want to say the architects, but yeah,
Yeah, so maybe
yeah.
something else, but yeah,
Who knows?
that's crazy.
Absolutely.
So maybe Sir Arthur Conan Doyle actually wrote this book. All right.
um, Practically, you send your soul into another person's body. Well, you might put it that way. What does your own body do? It merely feels lethargic. Well, but is there no danger to your own health? I asked. There might be a little. You have to be careful never to let your own consciousness absolutely go, otherwise, you might experience some difficulty in finding your way back again. You must always preserve the connection, as it were. I'm afraid I express myself very badly, Professor Gilroy, but of course I don't know how to put these things in a scientific way. I'm just giving you my own experiences and my own explanations.
Totally Inception.
100%. Well, I read this over now at my leisure, and I marvel at myself. Is this Austin Gilroy, the man who has won his way to the front by his hard reasoning power and by his devotion to fact? Here I am, gravely retelling the gossip of a woman who we know are just emotionally driven. And I'm just kidding. Okay, anyway, who tells me how her soul may be projected from her body, and how, while she lies in a lethargy, she can control the actions of people at a distance. Do I accept it? Certainly not. She must prove and reprove before I yield a point. That's science for you, baby. You gotta just keep testing. You can't go off one coincidence. Ha! Yeah, yeah. But if I am still a skeptic, I have at least ceased to be a scoffer. A dupe and a scoffer. We are. Not a gentleman and a scholar. That's exactly how you'd want to be described, too. Sexy. Yeah, oh yeah. I don't know. It might be riveting. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. We are to have a sitting this evening, and she's to try, if she can, produce any mesmeric effect upon me. This dude is screwed. If she can, which like how are you still like even willing to risk this? We'll make an excellent starting point for our investigation. No one can accuse me, at any rate, of complicity. If she cannot, we must try and find some subject who will be like Caesar's wife. Wilson is perfectly impervious. Oh, Katie says your mic isn't picking up your voice so good. Thank you, Katie.
No. Come on now. Hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. Please, for the love of. All right, I think that should be better. It says it's working now. So lock that in. I did mute it while I was drinking, so now I know. If I mute it, it's gonna might mess it up. Let me check. Let me check on the stream. Let me hear my own voice. Turn it up.
She said, "There we go."
There it is. All right. Okay, cool. Thank you. Shout out Katie. All right. Should I go back then? I think I should go back a little bit. 10 p.m. I believe that I am on the threshold of an epoch-making investigation. To have the power of examining these phenomena from the inside, to have an organism which will respond, and at the same time a brain which will appreciate and criticize. That is surely a unique advantage. Without context, that sounds really terrible. I'm quite sure that Wilson would give 5 years of his life to be as susceptible as I have proved myself to be. Wow. There was no present except Wilson and his wife. No one present except Wilson and his wife. I was seated with my head leaning back, and Miss Penalosa standing in front. A little way to the left, used the same long, sweeping strokes as with Agatha. At each of them a warm current of air seemed to strike me, and to suffuse a thrill and glow all through me from head to foot. My eyes were fixed upon Miss Penalosa's face, but as I gazed the features seemed to blur and to fade away. I was conscious only of her own eyes looking down at me, gray, deep, inscrutable. Larger they grew and larger until they changed and suddenly into two mountain lakes, towards which I seemed to be falling with horrible rapidity. I shuddered, and as I did so, some deeper stratum of thought told me that the shudder represented the rigor which I had observed in Agatha. An instant later, I struck the surface of the lakes, now joined into one, and down I went beneath the water, with a fullness in my head and a buzzing in my ears. Down I went. Down, down. And then, with a swoop, up again, until I could see the light streaming brightly through the green water. I was almost at the surface when the word "awake" rang through my head, and with a start, I found myself back in the armchair, Miss Penalosa leaning on her crutch, and Wilson, his notebook in his hand, peeping over her shoulder. No heaviness or weariness was left behind. On the contrary, though it was only an hour or so since the experiment, I feel so wakeful that I'm more inclined for my study than my bedroom. I see quite a vista of interesting experiments extending before us, and am all impatience to begin upon them.
Yeah. He unfortunately has not said at any point what she made him do.
No, I'm still going with my first theory. Still sticking to it.
Wilson and his wife were there to witness, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, couldn't have been too bad.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, we don't know.
Don't know. You want to read? Or you want me to? Keep going.
I'll do one. Maybe we can each do one more chapter.
Okay.
I think this next one's pretty short, so.
Sounds good.
Okay, March 27th. A blank day as Miss Penalosa goes with Wilson and his wife to the Suttons. Half begun Benet and Ferret's animal magnetism. What strange deep waters these are. Results. And the cause? An absolute mystery. It is stimulating to the imagination, but I must be on my guard against that. Let us have no inferences nor deductions, and nothing but solid facts. I know that the mesmeric trance is true. I know that mesmeric suggestion is true. I know that I am myself sensitive to this force. That is my present position. I have a large new notebook which shall be devoted entirely to scientific detail. Long talk with Agatha and Mrs. Martin in the evening about our marriage. We think that the summer the beginning of it, weird to abbreviate vacation, but
Yeah. I don't know. Why not just spell it all the way out?
yeah. Would be the best time for the wedding. Why should we delay? I grudge even those few months. So romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Still, as Mrs. Martin says, there are a good many things to be arranged.
These are really short ones. Maybe.
Yeah, so you might as well just read like 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mesmerized again by Miss Penalosa. Experience much the same as before, save the insensibility came on more quickly. See Notebook A for temperature of room, barometric pressure, pulse, and respiration, as taken by Professor Wilson. March 29th. Mesmerized again. Details in Notebook A. March 30th. Sunday and a blank day. I grudge any interruption of our experiments. What year was this book written, published?
Hang on just a
What's this
second.
say?
We're on page 43, right?
We're on page 43.
Let me scroll up and see if there's anything in the beginning about that.
Yeah. Like just the year it was published, because I'm curious.
1894.
Okay, 1894.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I want to see something.
Also, just again noting that he does not write what happens for any of these.
Okay. What I want to see, like, I just want to see a calendar. Like, can I go to this calendar? Can I go all the way back to, like, how far back in this calendar can I go? Like, do you think?
I don't know.
Can I go to, like, 1893? Can I go back that far?
Yeah, you can
Nope.
go all the way back. Oh.
I can only go as far back as 19...
25.
Oh, okay. No, I can keep going. Okay, 1929. No, yep, I can only go back as far as 1925.
What is it that you're trying to accomplish here?
Well, I was just seeing Sunday, March 30th, you know? He says it's a Sunday. I'm just curious, like...
Was it actually?
What year is this, like, if this was, you know... I guess I was just trying to figure out like exactly what year this was written in, based
Yeah.
on a Sunday, March 30th. That's all.
I'd have been 1892 then, the year before it got published.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't. Apparently, our computers can only go back to 1925. Like,
Which is wild. Like, this book is really, really old.
super old. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
kind of crazy. Yeah. Why can't my computer? Why don't computer calendars go back to you? Why can't you go back all the way to the beginning of like the dawn of time? Why is 1925 the cutoff? What, 100 years? That's it?
Let me see. There's gotta be a calendar. I got you.
Okay, nice.
1893. That's the year before it was published, right?
I think 1893 was the year. Yeah.
1893, March 30th.
Yeah. What day of the week that was?
That was Thursday, so maybe 1894.
No, it would have. Well, I mean, I guess after a year after.
Oh no, that wouldn't make sense. You're right.
I'm just trying to see.
After it was published.
So what? Yeah. Anyway, sorry. That was a.
That was a Wednesday.
Because in the book that I've been writing, like I actually, like, made sure that the future dates that I were using, like the dates, and then what day of the week that was, like, aligned.
I respect that because it looks like Arthur Conan Doyle did not do that. He just made it up.
Come on, Arthur. We're gonna take away your knighthood by the end of this book. So, shortening the word vacation.
Tut tut.
Yeah, come on, man. Sherlock wouldn't do that. All right.
Alright, let me go back down to page 43.
Yeah, 43. March 30th. Sunday. And a blank day. I grudge any interruption of our experiments. At present, they merely embrace the physical signs which go with slight, with complete, and with extreme insensibility. Afterwards, we hope to pass on to the phenomena of suggestion and of lucidity. Professors have demonstrated these things upon women at Nancy and at the Salpêtrière. I have no clue. It will be more convincing when a woman demonstrates it upon a professor, with a second professor as a witness. And that I should be the subject, I the skeptic, the materialist. At least I have shown that my devotion to science is greater than to my own personal consistency. The eating of our own words is the greatest sacrifice which truth ever requires of us. My neighbor, Charles Sadler, the handsome young demonstrator of anatomy, came in this evening to return a volume of Virchow's Archives which I had lent him. I call him young, but as a matter of fact, he is a year older than I am. I understand, Gilroy, said he, that you are being experimented upon by Miss Penalosa. Well, he went on, when I had acknowledged it, if I were you, I should not let it go any further. You will think me very impertinent, no doubt, but none the less, I feel it to be my duty to advise you to have no more to do with her. Of course, I asked him why. I am so placed that I cannot enter into particulars as freely as I could wish, said he. Miss Penalosa is the friend of my friend, and my position is a delicate one. I can only say this, that I have myself been the subject of some of the woman's experiments, and that they have left a most unpleasant impression upon my mind.
So, this guy's coming in, he's saying, I've done this before, It's been really bad, it's been so bad, I can't even tell you
how bad it is.
How bad it was. Because I'm not the only one that would be, like, have my reputation ruined if I did. Which is it's a pretty big warning to give a person.
Yeah, like I literally can't
however,
speak freely,
if you
but
don't really know them that well, you know, and they're not being completely transparent with you, then it is like a pretty easy thing to dismiss. But I think this is a very severe warning.
Definitely. It is. He could hardly expect me to be satisfied with that, and I tried hard to get something more definite out of him, but without success. It is conceivable that he could be jealous at my having superseded him. Or,
man.
yeah, that's crazy ego and pride. Or is he one of those men of science who feel personally injured when facts run counter to their preconceived opinions? I mean, if he's literally telling you I can't talk about it, and you press him and he's still not willing to give you anything other than, like, don't do it, dude, that seems pretty serious. Most people don't just willy-nilly keep secrets unless they're heavy.
Right.
He cannot seriously suppose that because he has some vague grievance, I am therefore to abandon a series of experiments which promise to be so fruitful of results. He appeared to be annoyed at the light way in which I treated his shadowy warnings, and we parted with some little coldness on both sides.
Yeah, I mean that's valid. That's valid. I would be like, dude, I'm trying to be real with you right now, and he's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
He's like, whatever. I'm clearly the superior subject here.
It's true.
Stupid.
So I'll just cover these little ones real quick. March 31st, mesmerized by Miss P. April 1st, mesmerized by Miss P. Notebook A. April 2nd, mesmerized by Miss P. Sifgomographic? I don't know.
Okay, well
Short
done.
taken by Professor Wilson.
Alright. April 3rd. It is possible that this course of mesmerism may be a little trying to the general constitution. Agatha says that I am thinner and darker under the eyes. I am conscious of a nervous irritability which I had not observed in myself before. The least noise, for example, makes me start, and the stupidity of a student causes me exasperation instead of amusement. Agatha wishes me to stop, but I tell her that every course of study is trying, and that one can never attain a result without paying some price for it. When she sees the sensation which my forthcoming paper on the relation between mind and matter may make, she will understand that it is worth a little nervous wear and tear. I should not be surprised if I got my FRS over it. Don't know what that is.
Neither, but sounds
Important.
Yes.
Mesmerized again in the evening. The effect is produced more rapidly now, and the subjective visions are less marked. I keep full notes of each sitting. Wilson is leaving for town for a week or 10 days, but we shall not interrupt the experiments, which depend for their value as much upon my sensation as on his observations. Alright, I'll read one more.
Okay, so it says a fellow of the Royal Society.
A fellow of the Royal Society?
Yeah.
That sounds fancy.
Award granted by the Fellows of the Royal Society of London to individuals who have made a substantial contribution to the improvement of knowledge.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. April 4th. I must be carefully on my guard. So this dude finally getting some kind of wind that this might not be great for him.
Right.
A complication has crept into our experiments which I had not reckoned upon. My eagerness for scientific facts, I have been foolishly blind to the human relations between Miss Penalosa and myself. I can write here what I would not breathe to a living soul. The unhappy woman appears to have formed an attachment for me. I should not say such a thing even in the privacy of my own intimate journal if it had not come to such a pass that it is impossible to ignore it. For some time, that is, for the last week, there have been signs which I have brushed aside and refused to think of. Her brightness when I come, her dejection when I go, her eagerness that I should come often, the expression of her eyes, the tone of her voice. I tried to think that they meant nothing, and were perhaps only her ardent West Indian manner. But last night, as I woke from the mesmeric sleep, I put out my hand, unconsciously and voluntarily, and clasped hers. When I came fully to myself, we were sitting with them locked, she looking up at me with an expectant smile. And the horrible thing was that I felt impelled to say what she expected me to say. What a false wretch I should have been. How I should have loathed myself today had I yielded to the temptation of that moment. But, thank God, I was strong enough to spring up and to hurry from the room. I was rude, I fear, but I could not. No, I could not trust myself another moment. I, a gentleman, a man of honor, engaged to one of the sweetest girls in England. And yet, in a moment of reasonless passion, I nearly professed love for this woman whom I hardly know. She's far older than myself, and a cripple. Who could love a cripple? It's just rude.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. This guy is a sexist. And
He's a lot of things.
yeah. And what do you call somebody who's prejudiced against cripples?
I don't know the term for that.
Yeah.
I actually don't.
That's probably good. But it has to be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a term. Like, there should not be a large enough group of people for this that they get it their own.
It's like a disability, I don't know, related thing. Yeah, it's terrible. This guy is not a good, not the most game like award-winning dude. He just,
No.
I don't think the FRS is really interested in people of this mentality.
No. I'd have to agree with you. But just to pause for a second and like address what the heck is happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Did you expect? I mean, you expected on some level for it to be like a sexual thing. But did you ever expect that she would hypnotize him to like make him have romantic feelings for her?
No, I don't think he. I don't feel like she hypnotized him to have romantic feelings for her.
Mm.
I think he's just been so like invested in so mentally and physically and emotionally and all that, like invested in time wise in all of this that like I don't think she was hypnotizing him. I think he was actually kind of setting himself up for it because he didn't talk about his fiance, like, except for that she kind of like he doesn't want to listen to what she has to say. He's more interested in Miss Penalosa and meeting and doing all this than even writing about anything else.
That's a good point. Like, maybe she misread his enthusiasm. She did say, like, if you're enthusiastic about it on a personal level, then yeah, I will absolutely tell you all you want to know. So maybe she's like misreading his interest in the scientific subject and like the phenomena of it to be an interest in her.
I mean, you know more than I do, so it sounds like you're giving it away because I don't think it was her hypnotizing him. I think it's him, like...
You think he actually has these feelings for her?
I think he spent so much time mentally, physically, emotionally invested in this that it was only, like, it was only natural that this happened to him. Even if he's not attracted to her at all and knows that he's with, like, this other woman. I mean, really think about it. Like, really think about it. I think he was, I think he was, like, without knowing it, was emotionally cheating on his fiancée.
Yeah.
But not with the intention of doing so. It was just what happened.
Huh. Okay. And so, yeah, that's an interesting take. I could see why you think that, for sure.
Yeah. It is monstrous. It was after Anna Cripple, 49. It is monstrous, odious.
And yet, the impulse was so strong that had I stayed another minute in her presence, I should have committed myself. What was it? I have to teach others the workings of our organism, and what do I know of it myself? Was it the sudden upcropping of some lower stratum in my nature, a brutal primitive instinct suddenly asserting itself? I could almost believe the tales of obsession by evil spirits, so overmastering was the feeling. It's like, dang, possession must be real.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the incident places me in a most unfortunate position. On one hand, I am very loath to abandon a series of experiments which have already gone so far and which promise such brilliant results. On the other, if this unhappy woman has conceived a passion for me, but surely even now I must have made some hideous mistake. She, with her age and her deformity, it is impossible. And that she knew about Agatha, she understood how I was placed. She only smiled out of amusement, perhaps, when in my dazed state I seized her hand. It was my half-mesmerized brain which gave it a meaning, and sprang with such bestial swiftness to meet it. Oh, I wish I could persuade myself that it was indeed so. But, on the whole, perhaps, my wisest plan would be to postpone our other experiments until Wilson's return. I have written a note to Miss Penalosa, therefore, making no allusion to last night, but saying that a press of work would cause me to interrupt our sittings for a few days. She has answered formally enough to say that if I should change my mind, I should find her at home at the usual hour.
10 p.m. right here. Well, 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 what a thing of straw I am. I'm a dupe, a man of straw.
I'm a dupe, a scoffer, and a scarecrow.
And a scarecrow, yes, indeed. The wombo combo, the deadly trio of things.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's almost been an hour.
Yeah, you could read one more chapter and then we can call it if you want.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Well, well, what a thing of straw I am. I'm coming to know myself better of late, and the more I know, the lower I fall in my own estimation. Surely I was not always so weak as this. At 4 o'clock I should have smiled, had anyone told me that I should go to Miss Penalosa's tonight, and yet at 8 I was at Wilson's door as usual. I don't know how it occurred. The influence of habit, I suppose. Perhaps there is a mesmeric craze as there is an opium craze, and I am a victim to it. Wow.
Dang, he's like, maybe I'm straight up addicted.
Well, I'm saying wow that like opium was I didn't know that opium was that prevalent at that time. I had no idea. I only know that as I worked in my study, I became more and more uneasy. I fidgeted, I worried, I could not concentrate my mind upon the papers in front of me. And then, at last, almost before I knew what I was doing, I seized my hat and hurried round to keep my usual appointment. We had an interesting evening. Miss Wilson was present during most of the time, which prevented the embarrassment which one at least of us must have felt. Miss Penalosa's manner was quite the same as usual, and she expressed no surprise at my having come in spite of my note. There was nothing in her bearing to show that yesterday's incident had made any impression upon her, and so I am inclined to hope that I overrated it. No, I did not overrate it.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. Immediate spoilers, yeah. I can no longer attempt to conceal from myself that this woman has conceived a passion for me. It is monstrous, but it is true. Again, tonight, I awoke from the mesmerist trance to find my hand in hers, and to suffer the odious feeling which urges me to throw away my honor, my career, everything, for the sake of this creature, who, as I can plainly see when I am away from her influence, possesses no single charm upon earth.
Dang.
But when I am near her, I do not feel this. She rouses something in my pants, something evil, something I had rather not think of. She rouses something in me, something evil, something I had rather not think of. She paralyzes my better nature, too, at the moment when she stimulates my worse. Decidedly, it is not good for me to be near her. Last night was worse than before. Instead of flying, I actually sat for some time with my hand in hers, talking over the most intimate subjects with her. We spoke of Agatha, among other things. What could I have been dreaming of? Miss Penalosa said that she was conventional, and I agreed with her. She spoke once or twice in the disparaging way of her, and I did not protest. What a creature I have been! Weak as I have proved myself to be, I am still strong enough to bring this sort of thing to an end. It shall not happen again. I have sense enough to fly when I cannot fight. From this Sunday night onwards, I shall never sit with Miss Penalosa again. Never. Wow, so fight or flight was already a thing back then. Let the experiments go. Let the research come to an end. Anything is better than facing this monstrous temptation which drags me so low. I have said nothing to Miss Penalosa, but I shall simply stay away. She can tell the reason without any words of mine.
Well, there you go. That's the end of the book.
That's it.
He never goes back, and ta-da!
He never goes back. Everything's fine. He gets married. All is well. It doesn't do his golden thong dance, chicken dance in the town square. Everything's
Stick again, brother.
beautiful.
On the screen.
All right. Well, I shall.
Gracias. Yeah.
Whoop,
Beautiful.
not starting soon. I will make it fake. There we go. Yeah, yeah. For an hour.
Yeah, dude. So nothing bad could happen. I mean,
I know, really. That was no more Parasite readings. Yep, I want you guys all to end on a happy cliffhanger. You're welcome. Spider-Man, the most recent one, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you should definitely never tell Agatha about this.
No, for sure not, dude. Yeah, it's always best to lie to your partner about stuff like this, you know?
Yeah.
Always best to hide things.
Especially if you're emotionally cheating on them or, you know.
Yeah, that was sarcasm. Like, complete, pure sarcasm. Yeah, he needs to have a conversation.
No, Agatha needs to know for sure.
And
Especially because Agatha
she'll
didn't
lock
want
him
him
up.
to be doing this anyways.
Right. At least 10 days ago, she's like, bruh.
You gotta stop.
Bruh, you gotta stop, dude. Yeah. Like, you haven't gotten hard in 3 days. But every time you go see her, you come back waddling. I don't... What's going on? Yeah, this doesn't seem good.
Yeah.
So I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that I feel like Monday we should read Parasite until we finish it. Wednesday, we should read a different book. I don't know. Ooh, excuse me. I don't know if we should read Cloudbuster 9 or if that should be more of a surprise one. We might pick a different book to read on Wednesdays if that's something you want to do.
That's fair. I mean, we only really have one more Monday for the Parasite. Like, it's...
Right. It seems
close to the end, for sure.
Close, 134 pages.
Yeah.
So, I think I was just thinking, even going forward, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like Friday, I kind of still want to do the just open readings. But Monday, Wednesday, be different books. If you're good with that.
Okay.
Might be different. Wow, the Cloudbuster 9. You're lucky you had an energy drink, dude.
This is true. We still have coffee downstairs.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nothing like a 3 p.m. coffee to help me fall asleep later. All right. Well, to the people that joined us today, thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated.
We really love to, have people interested in this. I mean, it's really fun for us, so if it's even a little bit fun for you, like, that's fantastic, gives us a reason to keep going.
For sure. Yeah. We're gonna keep going anyway.
I like that. Yeah.
But
yeah, I hope so, because I like reading with you, Sam. I don't get to read and talk about books with anybody. It's nice.
Yeah. I was gonna sing Hoobastank, but your sentiment was far better than anything Hoobastank ever created.
Found a reason for me
to change who I used to be.
Alright, so how many followers do we have again? I feel like we should address that really quick.
Yes. So as of this moment, we have, according to Stream Manager, we have 9 followers.
Yes.
Our goal was 10. So, one more follower, and we're going to read, like, our Friday will be chock full of our own personal writings. Fanfics, poems, smut, who cares what it is, you know? Like it's gonna be chock full of our own writings, and again in the future, hopefully some of y'all's.
Yes, absolutely. I have picked a couple writings I've done so far for romantic books specifically. I've done the first two chapters of a lot of different romances. Some of
Wild ones.
them just based on college and the college life. Some of them based on Hogwarts. A lot of them take place at the university. A couple of them are Dungeons and Dragons themed. Like I have at least three. I think I will read. So if you want to hear them, definitely follow, definitely tune in. And if you enjoy them, which I will be so stoked and flattered if you like even one of them, you'll have to let me know, and I will continue to expand upon whichever one you guys like most.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think that would be really good to do. I think especially just for you to be writing and reading. We just need one more person to make that possible. That's it. Just one more. Just one more, guys. I'm going to sit here until we get one more. I'm kidding.
What's that?
Just one more follower.
Some kind of challenge you do where you stay alive until you get one more.
Stay alive until I get one more?
Stay alive.
Stay alive until I get one more. After that,
We'll stay alive until you
who
get
knows?
Jeez.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, stay alive. That's like a subathon or whatever. Yeah.
When's our next stream?
Next stream is Wednesday, 2 p.m.
Yep. If you're lucky, we might do a surprise one tomorrow. I don't know. I feel like I have to redeem myself from this outfit, this look I got. I feel like I need to. I'll get pretty. I'll be up there up front next stream.
Okay. Good. Sounds like a plan.
Come look at my face. Come look at my glow up.
Yeah, hey. Yeah. I'm going to get a haircut too, I think it's time.
Perfect. Yeah, so both of us will be looking fresh for the next stream. You have to tune in.
I'm going to dye it gray.
That'd be so cool, dude.
I don't know, just enough, not like full-blown gray. But I am thinking like salt and pepper,
We'll start.
You just see what I look like at like, just a preview of like 50, 60, 70.
We'll start a GoFundMe for your hair and make a poll for like maybe 2 different hairstyles you could get and have people vote on them, and then once we've raised the money, you'll do whatever has the most votes.
Okay. Wow. So you're saying my choice of going gray and then whatever the public decides upon.
Well,
I have to go
You could
with.
have one other choice and let them decide between the two.
Okay. So it's both of them are my choices.
Yeah. That way you don't have to get like a mohawk if you don't want one.
Yeah, I don't really want like a spiked red mohawk.
Yeah. But do you have another hairstyle that you would be interested in doing? Have you ever gone bald?
No, but it's not.
Going
Going bald's not on my list of.
You can pull off a buzz cut.
I can pull off a buzz cut, but being bald is definitely not on my.
I'm not saying you wax it all entirely. I'm just saying buzz cut, really.
I've already done buzz cut in the past.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to consider it because I don't really know what would be.
Mm. What if you got a perm? Like made it like way curlier than it is right now.
A perm. Maybe, I guess. That's.
Whoa! Just said we are now at 10 followers.
Hey, we're at 10 followers. Wait, what? Who followed? Did Jess follow?
Maybe Jess created a Twitch just to follow.
She created a Twitch just to do it. Hey, we do need to get a little follower-like thing. I need to figure that out. For sure. We're at 10. Hey, look at that.
Alright,
So Friday, I guess we're going to be... I'll confirm it after the stream. I'll also, by Wednesday, add like a little follower. Like, hey, thanks for following.
Thanks for following, you guys.
Hey, thanks for doing it.
Appreciate
Doing the
Thanks for
thing.
helping us get to our goal.
Thanks for pressing the button.
Hmm.
So it looks like we're going to be doing some reading on Friday.
And we'll have to come up with a new goal. So if you have any ideas of what you want us to do when we hit 20 followers, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'll think about what I want to do for my hairstyle between now and Wednesday.
Lots of fun things coming.
For sure. All right.
Okay.
Thanks for turning a page with us today.
Yeah, thank you for turning a page. Love you all.
See you guys.
Have a good afternoon.